Hey boys and girls, it's Saturday morning. Just finished my workout. Okay. I just finished the weightlifting part of my workout. I need to get my ass running up and down these stairs in the park so I can get a little bit of cardio. So I figure I'd just do my rant in between while it's like fresh on my mind. I hate talking about shit where I don't have a solution, but I'm not sure I have a solution today. I think I'm just trying to demystify for people a little bit about nonprofits, and I've been thinking about this all week, but I'm going to be honest, like I didn't figure out what my point is going to be today. I just knew I wanted to talk about this. So for leaders in nonprofit, particularly leaders of color, and I know people hate when I separate out black folks, but let's be honest, black folks get treated differently. But for leaders in nonprofits, particularly black folks, you go from pet to threat overnight. Like, nonprofits love the poster child, the poster girl, the poster boy, and people who are directly impacted by issues, whether it's poverty, homelessness, criminal justice, whatever. They know that philanthropy really loves the poster child. They know that nonprofits really love the poster child. It helps to legitimize people who don't feel like they have the legitimacy to be doing this work. And when movements get to the point where they need legitimacy, people surround themselves by folks who legitimize the work. And then if I'm being a bit more kind, movements should get to the point where people who are most impacted by an issue are in the lead, although that comes with all of its toxicity also, so we can talk about that another time. But people go from pet to threat really quickly, and it's not just that people go from pet to threat. I guess that's just the cycle of movements. It's an insidious part of nonprofits in particular. But it's not just that. It's that when they go from pet to threat, when they go from the one people like the most to the one people hate the most, because everyone loves a hero until the point in the movie where the hero gets his or her ass kicked, and then people kind of love that too because we're all fucking sick and perverse. But in the nonprofit space, like, people call the police. Like, foundations call their lawyers. If you suddenly are in and out of a foundation every few months, raising money for a few years, and suddenly you're in trouble, somebody accuses you of something, you do something wrong, you allegedly do something wrong, there's a fucking garbage truck coming behind me. I do not want to move. I knew I shouldn't have double parked for this video. So anyway, they call their lawyers. So foundations call their lawyers. I want people to hear this. People who are not nonprofit, people who don't fundraise. So foundations that have all this loving messaging, their fucking lobby says social justice in big letters. They have pictures of directly impacted people all over the place. They talk a good one. They have all the progressive rhetoric in the world. And as soon as your ass is in trouble, you ain't gonna be talking to that program officer no more. You're gonna be talking to their lawyers, and their lawyers are gonna be threatening you, and they're gonna be threatening you with everything from give us every penny of the money back to we're gonna have to call the police. In fact, I know at least one funder right now that's talking to the FBI trying to get formerly incarcerated people locked up. That's a story for another day. I try not to cancel people. I won't mention that person by name. Maybe I'll change my mind later. Anyway, so here's the other piece of it. Nonprofits themselves, like, people think of nonprofits as if it's something that's some fucking garbage truck. All right, give me a second, folks. Okay. So people think of nonprofits as if it's something so different than corporate America, and it's really not. It's really not. I should put my seatbelt on because this garbage truck is not gonna leave me alone. Here's why. So non-disclosures, non-competes, non-disparagement. Does anyone even know what the fuck that is? I didn't know what it is till I was running a nonprofit. You know what it is? When you're running, like, when you start to build a nonprofit and you have an idea, you ask yourself, at what point am I really running an organization? At what point have I actually built something? Here's the easy answer, folks. The minute you fucking get sued. So that's what happens in nonprofits that no one talks about. Everybody sues each other. So the minute a person gets terminated and they're not happy about it, all the DEI shit, all the love, all the fucking healing circles go out the window, and people go get a lawyer and shit, and they try to sue each other. And people don't talk about that. It's like the dirty little secret of nonprofits. Why? Because they don't want their funders to know. They don't want their donors to know. Except donors and funders create this fucking madness because They have this purity standard for who should be doing this work. And we have to be so different than corporate America that like we can't, the beans can't be spilled that somehow someone did something wrong or allegedly even did something wrong. So instead, we all sign these contracts, these non-disclosures, non-competes. We give people 10 grand, 20 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand. And then everybody signs these little documents and they go about their business. Nonprofit keeps going. Funder never finds out. The person walks away with a shitload of money. Some people might deserve money. Some people might have had something happen to them. I'm not going to discount that. Like, I've signed a ton of those documents in the past, to be frank. I mean, I was in nonprofit for 17 years and I've been on both sides of it, but we don't talk about it. And I think that's the bullshit and the hypocrisy in nonprofits. I'm going to talk more about it. I want people who donate to these organizations to know. I want people who work at foundations to know. I want people who run nonprofits to know that this shouldn't be like a dirty little secret. Like right now, the only difference between nonprofits and Wall Street is that one of them comes with a fucking kiss on the cheek. We talk about being in family. We talk about being in community. That's bullshit. You're not in family when you go to work. You might be in community. You're not in family when you go to work. My grandmother has never terminated me. My grandmother has never asked me to sign a non-disclosure, a non-compete. My grandmother has never asked me to fill out a non-disparagement form. I should have asked her to fill one out. She's talked shit about me in the past. But my point is this. Like, I hate the fact that nonprofit seems like this beautiful little thing with a beautiful little bow on it that people donate to, and we all hold hands and we all sing Kumbaya. That's not what's going on behind the scenes. Non-disclosure, non-compete, non-disparagement. Next time you have a leader that gets kicked out of a position and you don't hear him or her ranting about what went wrong, chances are behind the scene they were forced, probably at the worst moment in their lives, to sign a non-disclosure, non-compete. There was no fucking healing moment. There was no restoration. There was no healing circles. All this shit that we sell to funders to get the next $50,000 or $100,000 grant doesn't exist when it's time for nonprofits to hide the dirty underbelly of what actually happens. Have a great day. Don't let anybody steal your fucking rainbow. Peace.